Tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Packers and the Steelers, and it comes your way next.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. CD, our quarterback matchup here, it features two of the most decorated guys around. A couple of guys certainly with gold jackets in their future. Aaron Rodgers of the Packers, Ben Roethlisberger of the Steelers.
And you always feel like you're fortunate to watch games like this and have things unfold right here in real time, because we always want these types of matchups. And being able to watch guys who've been elite NFL quarterbacks for so long continue to do it at a high level, we're the lucky ones.
The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from Heinz Field. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And here comes Ben Roethlisberger out onto the field ready to lead this Steeler offense.
And what a career we've seen from Ben Roethlisberger. Awfully consistent, tough, durable, strong in the pocket, great leader, a guy who stands in and throws it downfield, and has also added to his game the ability to get the ball out of his hands quickly and let his guys do work downfield.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. It's Preston Smith. He gets the sack there. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger. Incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. Time to see the offense for Green Bay go to work. Aaron Rodgers leading them. What a career it's been. Came into the league back in 2005 as the number 24 pick out of Cal.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 45. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Gets by him at the 25. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. We're scoreless after 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. And just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get him the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road, you're under the lights, national television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real, and a pretty nice opening statement.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Ray McLeod to return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. Now it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Cameron Hayward, his second sack of the night. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On fourth down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. Ray McLeod deep for Pittsburgh. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Let's go.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
To throw again on second down, Roethlisberger. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the sack, and now a third and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and that will come the offense as they take over. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our players spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the penalty, it's Jones. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On now is the Packers punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and 1 timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Preston Smith in there to bury him for a loss of 11. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Packers in that first half. And there's not a whole lot that's next-gen about these numbers. 0 total yards passing as a club in the first half. That will not win you many football games.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. And the Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
The second half starts with a carry by Jones. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll go again to Jones. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. To throw, it's Rodgers.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones.
And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Rodgers going to throw. Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
.31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Packers pick it up. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And the Steelers will take over here just shy of the 30.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Meanwhile, Ben's throw complete there to Johnson. 7 yards to pick up there. On second down, this is Harris. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They'll run with Harris. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On second down, It's Harris. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on third down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down, make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
A run with Jones on first down, not going to yield much. A yard tops. 2nd down coming up.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. So Big Ben and the Steelers now down 3-0. A little under a minute 50 remaining. And they need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Now Ben. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Harris. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man, Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Ben going to throw. And that is incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this kick is not gonna get there. It's short and no good. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, 4th quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was, well, you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.